we'll start the program that we have planned for today. I'd like to introduce, before I introduce Matthew, I'd like to welcome everyone to the 4th year of the Living Tradition series of the Acadian Museum in Erath. And this all came about by a grant by Dr. Patricia Salwin from USL. And she had an idea that we need in Erath to preserve the music, the language, the culture, the arts. And we, with the help of Warren and the Acadian Museum, began the Living Tradition series. And like I said, this is our 4th year, and this is our first program of our year. And we're lucky and we're very fortunate to have with us a very young and rising star. I'd like to introduce Mr. Mathew Courville, a 13-year-old Cajun musician from Erath, Louisiana. Just to give you a little bit of background, and we're going to let Matthew talk, and I hope that you'll have some questions for him. And I also want to introduce his dad, who is also a musician, Mr. Ken Courville from Carencro. Like I said, Matthew is 13 years old. He doesn't attend a public school. He's homeschooled by his mom. And I was just talking to his mother, and she says, I'm the meanest teacher around. I would not want to be taught by my mother. Matthew's been playing the accordion for 3.5 years. He has 1 CD out that I'd like to show everybody. Mathew Courville, avec un cœur pour maman et pour mon papa. Avec un cœur pour mon papa. And it's for sale along with his audio tapes, and you're welcome to visit right next to the Garde Manger if you want to buy Matthew's CD or his audio tape. And this is the first time Matthew's been in Erath, and we're very welcome. We're very glad to have Matthew here. I asked him if he'd ever met D.L. Menard, and he said once. So I got on the phone and I called D.L. just a few minutes ago, and I asked if D.L. could come by and say hi. And surprisingly to me and to a lot of people in Erath, we just found out that D.L. had surgery. And it's nothing severe. He had surgery for a hernia, but his wife said there's no way he can get out of the house today. And for D.L. to live right down the road and we know nothing about it, I thought it was very strange. But I think D.L. is going to be fine. So without any further ado, I'd like to introduce the star of the show, Mr. Mathew Courville.
I've been playing for 3 years. My favorite places that I've played at, I played once in Illinois, and my favorite place of all is in Florida. We had a hotel, a beachside resort. It was cool. We played on the beach. And whenever I was little, I got started in music. I went to my grandmother's house, daughter, she was right there. And I picked up some Coke bottles, and I filled them up with water, each higher than the other one, and I tapped them with spoons. And then a couple months later, I picked up the drums. And then a couple months after that, my friend Joel Martin, which is Junior Martin's grandson. Junior builds accordions, and he built mine. He came over, and he went and get a glass of water, and I picked it up and started playing. And the day after, I played at the nursing home in Carencro. The day after. Then 4 weeks later, I went to the Liberty Theater in Eunice. And a lot of people, the first question they ask me whenever they come up to me is, am I being pushed by my parents? No, it's not that. I enjoy playing Cajun music because it's fun and you get to see a lot of your friends. I've played at a lot of festivals. One of my favorites is probably the Jazz Festival in New Orleans because they have a lot of people who were there. And I played one in Fort Knox, or Fort Caskey or something.
Illinois.
In Illinois.
We're doing it again. I asked him if they have any questions.
Do you have any questions?
It's time to play.
He's not married yet?
No.
I'll bring you back to Florida.
Not even worry. I just want to make everybody aware, the 40 bus class that just walked in with Mr. Warren Baird, these are all from Lafayette, and this is the crew of Xanadu. And we're very glad to have you.
Get the mic ready. Okay. I'm an interested.
Let's start out with something called our basic step.
We're gonna send this out to the
We're going to do something called the Partenariat for Mr. Dio and Check mic 1, 2.
One more time. One more time.
Check mic 1, 2. Mic check.
What we got? Eliminate.
Ladies and gentlemen.
La prochaine danse sera la base de limonade. Bien.
Right here in this chair. Hi, nice to meet you, Dave.
Really, my dad sings over around like 6
Oh, wait. Anda bagi dapat laban the Lacassine. All right. Anybody here from Lacassine? No Lacassinians? I bet you the prettiest one in Lacassine. I could tell, man. Tell the truth. I really want to thank so much Mr. Bouillon, Mr. Kermit, there you know. And also Mr. Where's Warren? Thank you so much for getting Matthew. He's hiding somewhere. Thank you for getting Matthew to come out here to play for your enjoyment this afternoon. Are you enjoying it so far? Thank you so very much. How about the band? I tell you, you guys are doing a great job. Big hand for the band. I mean, okay. Appreciate it so very much. I'm just glad to see all some good friends here. We got Mr. Allen, Miss Grace out here tuning in. They just come out here. So many people. We appreciate so very much the support in the Cajun music field. And without your support, the Cajun culture would probably, you know, dwindle pretty much. At one time they said it did, but I think there's a resurgence happening here. So many people, Illinois, who would have ever thought? We played 3 shows in Illinois in September, 10,000 people. They all sat out there and they were just mesmerized with the Cajun music, and I think that's great. They invited us back this year, as a matter of fact. We're going to go back in September again. So Cajun music is real popular. It's a good music. It keeps you snapping, keeps you jumping, you know. And we're just really glad to be a part of it, I'll tell you. And thank you for your support again. Somebody has a birthday in the house today? 29 years old, here he is. Stand up and say, let me have a look at you. That's it, folks. Just so glad you're still here. 29 and going strong, right? Congratulations. All right, this is something called the Lacassine Special, and you know that's not a plate lunch. Don't get confused. The Lacassine Special is not a plate lunch. All right, let's try it out, though.
say, I just come back from Houma. This is where the LTPA convention was going on. Louisiana Travel Promotion Association, Lieutenant Governor, and all that kind of stuff. Last year, Franco-Fête was the big celebration throughout the year, Congrès Mondial and all of that. Well, that's all over now. This year, the focus is going to be on music. La musique, all over the state, every kind of music that you can imagine. Thursday, the closing of the convention was they had a big whatever, a luncheon. The Hackberry Ramblers was the featured band, and by the way, I was able to play with them. That was one of the biggest thrills that I've ever had in my life. 67 years they've been together, the Hackberry Ramblers, 3 of them. 2 died, there's 3 left, and they are tremendous. Anyway, I just wanted to tell you this. That this year, the focus for all over the state will be music. It'll be every kind of music that you can imagine. It's going to be tremendous. C'est ça que je voulais vous dire. Merci bien.
Russell Gary of the Fatals, the musical band, the Fatals.
It's kind of like you,
They play some good music.
Yeah, I've heard.
But he's appointed by the governor to support Franco-Fête.
Yeah, I attended a couple of weeks.
Matthew said I can sing another one, thanks, brother. Je veux vous dire ça, c'est quoi, j'ai content, vous êtes des candiens de votre checkpoint, am I right? I
play one of those things, I squeezed the buttons off of every drawers I had and gave it up. I decided, how we doing, Coach? All right. Anybody here from Grand Coteau? Something. All right, we done? All right. I want y'all to know something. I grew up. You've heard of a one-horse town? Well, in Grand Coteau, they see towns from Sunset.
That's right.
We had to share our horse with Sunset, Carenbro, and Orneville. I come from a quarter horse town, and there's nothing like. Peace. Let me tell you, South Louisiana, as far as I'm concerned, is the only place to live. I decided one time I was going to quit drinking beer, quit dancing, quit looking at good-looking women, quit listening to Cajun music. Y'all, that was the worst 30 minutes I ever spent in my life. So I went back to all of it. But I'm here this afternoon just to tell you a couple of things that I've observed. First of all, I want y'all to know we have a very important person with us here this afternoon. People ask me, Laurie and I, by the way, this is my wife, Laurie. We go around the country and we tell Cajun jokes and we tell them about life in South Louisiana. And the funniest thing is, people say, well, where do you get all the funny stuff? Hell, all you got to do is watch television. And I want y'all to know we have somebody very important with us from the District Attorney's Office this afternoon, Don Land. Don, here. Let me tell you why I said that, because you might have seen in the news the other day, a fella from New Iberia went to USL, pulled out a knife and attacked a fella in armed robbery. And so I say, who you on with? If you're going to attack somebody for money, you don't pick a teacher. I'll tell you something else. I'll say for that. You will never ever get ahead of a Kunan. Never get ahead of a Cajun. Now, I'll tell you how I know that. Two old friends of mine in Grand Coteau, they used to get together every day and they drink coffee in one of them's kitchen. And one day, one of them looked at the other one, he said, Thibault. He said, there's something new in here. He said, what that is? Oh, he said, I'm glad you noticed that. He said, I wallpapered my kitchen. Oh, he said, that's a good idea. He said, my kitchen is about the same size as yours. I'm going to wallpaper mine. Tell me this, how many rolls of wallpaper you bought? He said, well, that's easy. I bought 34. He said, that's what I needed to know. The next day they got together. He said, Thibault, he said, I wallpapered my kitchen. He said, when I was finished, I had 17 rolls left over. The other guy said, yeah, me too. A Seville, used to be in the potato business. He went to the bank in New Orleans. And he said, y'all, he said, my name is Seville. I'm from Sunset. I'm in the potato business. He said, I'm going to Europe for 2 weeks. And I need a little walking around money. He said, I want to borrow $5,000. The guy at the bank said, well, Mr. Seville, he said, we don't know you. You're not one of our customers. Why should we loan you $5,000? You got any collateral? He said, look, right outside the door. He said, a brand new Cadillac from DC Cadillac in Opelousas, all bought and paid for. You can have that as collateral. When I come back, I'll pay you. Guy said, that's a pretty good deal. So he loaned him the $5,000. 2 weeks later, Mr. Seville was back. He paid him the $5,000. There was $37 interest. He paid him that. He said, Mr. Seville, he said, you're puzzled. He said, we got to find out. He said, you borrowed $5,000 from us. He said, we checked on you in Sunset at the bank. He said, you got $1.5 million cash in the bank. How come you borrowed $5,000 from us? He said, partner, where else I can get my car looked after for 2 weeks in New Orleans for $37? One more story. You got time for one more story? I love this story. It happened right here in Erath, Louisiana. Fellow was hunting. Oh, that's true. Oh, yeah. Fellow was hunting geese and ducks. He's in a duck blind. He shot a duck, and it kind of landed in the field next to where he was hunting. So he got out of his blind, and he went to pick it up. Just about the time he picked it up, there was a fella drove up in his truck, and he stood up on the running board of his truck, and he said, "Hey, partner, what you doing in my field?" And the guy said, well, he said, "Nothing." He said, "I just came to pick up my duck. I shot the duck, and this is where it landed." He said, "I came to pick him up." He said, "Partner, you don't understand." He said, "You in Erath, Louisiana." He said, "If he's in my field, he's my duck." The guy said, "No." He said, "I beg your pardon." He said, "I'm an attorney. I'm smart. And I know that if I shot it, it's my duck." He said, "No, sir, partner." He said, "If it's in my field, it's my duck." The guy said, "Well, I'm going to sue you." He said, "And if I win," he said, "I'm going to have everything you own. Your house, your truck, your land, your money, everything. I'm going to have the duck, too." The guy said, "Well," he said, "let me think about it." He said, "You know," he said, "here at Erath," he said, "sometimes we settle things without having to use the courts and the judges and all those attorneys." He said, "What we do is we use the 3-kick method." He said, "What in the world are you talking about?" "Oh," he said, "Partner, it's easy." He said, "I get to kick you 3 times, hard as I can, anywhere I want. Then you get to kick me 3 times, hard as you can, anywhere you want. The one that's stiff, man enough to stand up after that, is the winner take all." The guy said, "Buddy, let me tell you something." He said, "I'm from a tough neighborhood in Chicago. Go ahead, take your best shot." Old farmer hauled off with his broke hands, and he kicked him right in the funky lung. He went down screaming. The guy kicked him in the behind, he kicked him in the ribs. He hurt that lawyer bad, but the guy got up, and he stood right there, and he looked at the farmer, and he said, "Okay." He said, "Now it's my turn." The farmer looked at him, and he said, "Now keep the duck." God bless y'all. It's a lot of fun being here. What a musician.
Good humor. All right. It was good. Well, I mean, at least that set was. I don't know. You give us just a quick minute. Your magic is going to change accordingly. Yeah, it's in the deep. CD, my wife's standing right there. Raise your hand, sweetie pie. Go ahead. She's going to kill me after this. But it's all right. That's my first wife right there, and she's going to say you as many as you need. All right. You only have 10,000 left, so you want to hurry up.
We're going to do something called Lenny Coastal Bus.
accordions on you right quick. I would like to bring up a special guest right now, Miss Jordan Von Dent from Sunset, Louisiana. She's been singing Cajun music a couple of months, a few months right now. So she's going to do something by Zachary Richard, something called Travailler c'est si dur. Et pour les c'est pas bon, tu connais? All right, Miss Jordan Von Dent. How about a big hand for Jordan?
Thank you.
Il a fait changer, il a fait
Girl, thank you. All right. We got one more for you. Something going on. Don't say nothing until he decides, okay? I'm holding that. Just hold your breath. I think j'étais au bal hier soir. You like that? What key y'all want that in? Oh, whatever key, don't matter. Okay. House key. We can do that in house key. And you know, I heard somebody laughing in French a while ago. I thought it was nice. That's the first time I hear that. You ever heard that? Il a fait rire en français, boy. Oh, you can listen in French? Oh, that's nice. French, j'ai appris en anglais, c'est la même chose. That's right. All right, Matthew's going to do something called J'ai fait au bal hier soir. Et on va peut-être aller encore un soir. And again, we want to thank you so much. Thank you, everybody. Thank you all so much.
We can do some patriotism.
Go, come on.